Dear viewers from all over the map, welcome to my channel. The Curious features book reviews, tech tips, ways to earn money online, and more. In this video, I will walk you through Viktor Frankl's valuable book, Man's Search for Meaning. Coming up next on The Curious.
Man's Search for Meaning is an autobiographical account of Viktor Frankl's application of his trademark theory, which he calls logotherapy. He began formulating this theory, which postulates that finding meaning and purpose in life is the key to personal happiness and well-being in Vienna, Austria, before the dawn of Nazi aggression. Later, while imprisoned for 3 years in first a Nazi ghetto and then in Nazi concentration camps, Frankl applied his theory to his own immediate situation, to console himself and his fellow prisoners. Because he was Jewish, Frankl was arrested by Nazi German authorities in September 1942, along with his pregnant wife, his parents, and his brother. They were deported from their beloved Vienna and transported to the Theresienstadt ghetto in Czechoslovakia, where Frankl's father died. Frankl and his remaining family members were next transported to Auschwitz in Poland, where all of them, except Frankl, died.
At the time of his arrest, Frankl was a well-regarded psychologist. He had already begun developing his theory of logotherapy. Frankl carried his manuscript outlining his theory, titled The Doctor and the Soul, with him to Auschwitz. At Auschwitz, in short order, Frankl was separated from his family and stripped of his clothing. The Nazis even shaved all of his body hair off. Of this experience, Frankl wrote, "Most of us were overcome by a grim sense of humor. We knew that we had nothing to lose except our ridiculously naked lives."
In the experiences in a concentration camp section of Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl writes about consciously commanding his mind to detach from his immediate physical circumstances in order to apply the central tenet of logotherapy, namely, that life holds meaning regardless of one's circumstances, to his own situation. The depiction of this concentration camp experience is followed in Man's Search for Meaning by a poignant argument in favor of all aspects of logotherapy.
In spite of the loss of his family, his professional manuscript, and his dignity, Frankl pressed on to live as fully as possible in the face of imprisonment by Nazi Germany. In essence, Man's Search for Meaning provides a living example of logotherapy in practice, as Frankl writes about how he survived his experience in the Nazi concentration camp before moving on to an in-depth account of the theory itself. Frankl organizes Man's Search for Meaning into the following sections: 1. Experiences in a concentration camp, 2. Logotherapy in a nutshell, and 3. A postscript, the case for tragic optimism.
Man's Search for Meaning was first translated into English in 1959. As a result, teachers should be aware that Frankl's work contains words and phrases that may be anachronistic or confusing to modern readers. For example, Frankl uses the term Moslem p. 19. Moslem is an abbreviated version of the German word Muselmann, a term Nazis use for prisoners who have lost the will to live.
The core of Frankl's philosophy is that a man's deepest desire is to find meaning in his life. And if he can find that meaning, he can survive anything. Frankl found meaning in his experiences in the concentration camp by deciding that he was going to use his suffering as an opportunity to make himself a better person. Instead of becoming apathetic and accepting that he was doomed, he chose to embrace his suffering. According to Frankl, while a man's destiny in life is certainly affected by the circumstances in which he finds himself, he is ultimately free to choose his own path in life. Even in the worst situation possible, man always has the freedom to choose his attitude towards life.
Frankl wrote the first section of Man's Search for Meaning in 9 days, and intended for the book to be published anonymously. He says that he was not looking for fame. He simply wanted to demonstrate that life could be meaningful in even the most terrible situation possible. Frankl didn't intend for the book to be particularly successful, and he often tells his students that they should not strive for success. He writes, "Success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue." In other words, one may become successful, but success is not a goal in and of itself.
Frankl ends his book by saying that man is that being who invented the gas chambers at Auschwitz. However, he is also that being who entered those gas chambers upright, with the Lord's Prayer or the Shema Yisrael on his lips. Frankl believes that while man is certainly capable of doing evil, no individual human must be evil. Every human has the capacity to change his behavior and attitude in every possible situation. In his postscript, Frankl reaffirms this belief as the basis for his tragic optimism, or belief in the importance of saying yes in spite of everything.
Thanks for watching. The Amazon link for this unputdownable book is as usual in the description box. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos from this channel. If you know of a useful book that could benefit others, let me know in the comments below. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button and notification icon for more useful books and other related stuff from The Curious.